When Flesh and Blood first came out back in 2019, it seemed like it had potential. As Magic the Gathering went to shit with the companions, the lackluster return to Zendikar, and the like in early 2020, Flesh and Blood was brand new, unsullied and unstained. This game seemed to be about warriors clashing in vicious hand-to-hand combat, a game brutal and literal, as opposed to the vagueness of Magic the Gathering and what the hell a game of Magic even represents anymore. Flesh and Blood was a well-balanced, better-structured alternative, a game about masculine fighters, not feminine wizards. Yes, there were ninjas, but that was fine. Quickly, wizards were introduced, plus a cringeworthy steampunk inventor character. That produced grimaces on the part of many, but people got over it. It was just one, right? Well, as the game kept releasing sets, they kept adding more wizards, more mechanologists, more ninjas. Now there are as many mechanologists as there are warriors, seeing as one of the warrior characters is also a wizard, so that doesn't really count, now does it? Some would say that arcane damage adds a new dimension to the game, giving it mechanical depth. Perhaps that's true, but its flavor has been muddled. And while admitted, the lore of Flesh and Blood wasn't that fantastic to begin with, pegging itself somewhere between typical Pauldron Core or generic cartoonish battle arena video game or Dota 2 ripoff. Still, it was decent lore, and you want a trading card game's world to be a bit generic anyway. So now we have the latest set to look forward to, a pirate-themed set based on the high seas. Yes, pirates. Pirates. Who doesn't love pirates? I can't believe it hasn't happened already. I mean, we already had ninjas, so we need pirates too. Of course they are, the most generic pirates imaginable, a literal rip-off of Davy Jones from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and precedent folklore is named Gravy Bones, supposedly a riff on graveyards, as the character is a necromancer, and perhaps something to do with a watery grave. Still, the name seems like a cheap pun, and is off-putting to anyone even slightly creative, which will not include the hordes of raving soy boys who will scream OMG pirates and buy 50 boxes of this slop. Although Mr. Gravy Bones is a far better poster boy for this set than the two potential poster girls, both mulatto women, one a steampunk inventor, the other a ranger. Both are pirates. They are both also completely different from the mulatto girl from the previous set, who was a lightning warrior or some shit, and the one before that. And oh, well, you get the idea. The steampunk inventor girl, of course, has a pet parrot, who itself wears a pirate hat. Because we have to remember that these are pirates, we need to make sure everyone knows that. And the only way to do so is by including a parrot. Did you clap? Did you clap when you saw the thing you knew? I sure hope so. That's the only acceptable reaction to this after all. You can't possibly have a problem with a trading card game set based around a meme, being composed out of further memes. Yes, pirates were real, of course, and still are to this day to a lesser extent, but these tropes are not real. No, I know. Before the baying of the soy cuck rule of cool freaks gets too ear-piercingly loud, I know that fantasy doesn't have to be realistic. But nor should it pander to such hackneyed tropes. It only has to be because of marketing and shit. Because the purpose of this set is for you to see pirates, neuron activation occurs as you remember that pirates exist and are a new thing, and that makes you want to buy it. The accessories are to make sure there is no risk you misinterpret that signal. That is all. I mean, for fuck's sake, the parrot's name is Polly Cranker. This is peak soy. These people are composed of nothing but memes at this point. Perhaps the generic nature of Wrath should have been more of a red flag. This all shouldn't matter, so long as the game is good, but the flavor is a huge part of playing the game, even insofar as players who don't read the lore and merely consume the cards. There is lore there, and making it so desperate to reference generic tropes is just retarded. And already there are talks of this set being broken in some way, as power creep inevitably creeps its way in. This is perhaps the first Flesh and Blood set I find it hard to have enthusiasm for. What promised to be a strong alternative to Magic the Gathering is similarly finding itself mired in overly saturated tropes. When will the detective set for Flesh and Blood come out? The Cowboys set? The set with an interplanar car chase? Oh wait, that already happened with the Bright Light set. Yeah, it looks like Flesh and Blood is going to follow Magic the Gathering down on its spiral into artlessness. That's a shame, because it, like Magic, had real potential at the beginning. A shame it is squandering that for a quick buck.